All right, cold email writing. We are finally at the most juiciest part of this entire module. So, right now, I've told you all the technical stuff, all the stuff that you need to know before you actually get into cold email writing. And right now, in this lesson, we are going to cover how to actually write cold emails, all the best practices on what to do when it comes down to your subject lines, all the best practices when it comes down to the body of the copy, and also all the best practices that you need to have in order when your customer or when your potential client give you some kind of doubts or objections. And I'm going to teach you that in this lesson. Now, after that, I will show you how to actually run cold email marketing software. And after that, you're pretty much going to be ready to rock and roll and basically make this entire cold email marketing system work. So with that said, let's get right into it. Now, before I do that, you're going to have all the templates for cold email, whether it is handling objections, and also I'll give you my personal scripts for email. So you really have something to look forward to. So let's get into it. So first of all, how to create high-level personalized first lines for email. So before I start telling you how to create personalized first line, let me first tell you why it's so necessary, okay? And this is very, very important. Like, this is absolutely crucial, right? So if you write a good subject line, which I'm obviously going to teach you later in this lesson, then your prospect has got two options, right? To either keep on continuing reading the email or to click off and delete the email. Now, in order to like your customer not deleting the email, it is very important you learn how to write a good first line that actually catches their attention and doesn't repel them. So let's get into it. So your general mindset for creating high-level personalized first lines for email. So it has to look like you spend an hour personalizing the email when in reality it takes you 1 or 2 minutes. You have to personalize at scale. If you don't, you won't send enough volume and you won't book enough meetings to actually get clients. This is why you have to follow this process for writing personalized first lines and be efficient with it. These first lines must be super simple, short, and straight to the point. There must be no confusion and no fancy words. And it must be so easy to understand that even a 10-year-old can understand it. And I'm not joking, right? I already told you this. If you have problem with writing in such a simple way, use the ChatGPT to make the text simpler to understand. 1 or 2 sentences are enough. And now you don't have to use personalized first lines in every single cold email. However, it's just one of many cold email angles that can help you figure out what works best for your niche. And I'll give you multiple scripts with or without personalized first lines. So don't worry about that. Now, steps to actually write personalized first lines. So, first, you open their website or their social media account. Now, you read through it, right? And you find something personal to them. Now, this is especially easy with Instagram stories, right? You go to the stories and you find, some event, some trip they were on, something, right? And why you want to do that is simply because it has to look like you spent a lot of time researching them. Whereas in reality, you just have an efficient process that makes you look like you actually care. When in reality, you do all of this in 2 minutes. Okay? And the format for personalized first lines should be something like this. Hey name, I'm impressed with or by something you find personal about them or your personal opinion or some personal fact. So let's just say, right, you are looking to pitch a fitness trainer, personal fitness trainer. So you tell them like, hey Jack, I'm impressed that you were actually, just pause this. So one more time, hey name or hey Jack, I'm super impressed by the fact that you actually met with Sylvester Stallone. It must have been really, really cool. How was it? Sylvester Stallone is one of my childhood heroes as well. So let's just say you find, their Instagram story or their Instagram post where they have photo, right? For example, with Sylvester Stallone, and because Sylvester Stallone is a, bodybuilding beast and he's essentially Rocky and like hero of many people who work out, it's relevant to the topic you want to talk about with them, which is working out and then helping them with your copy. So you just mention this and you make it look personal, right? You just ask super simple human-like questions, right? You tell them like, hey, look, I love, that you have Sylvester Stallone on your profile. How was it? It must have been so great. He's one of my childhood heroes as well. Super, super simple, but very effective. Because many people bombard their, potential customers with silly subject lines and silly first lines, and it never works. So be different. Now, after you write a first line, you also have to write subject line, right? Now, how to do that? Very simple. I'll give you some tips and tricks on how to make it very easy and how to actually create good subject lines. So, first of all, use personalization. Include the recipient's name or company in the subject line to make it feel like it's meant just for them. This grabs attention and feels more personal. Now, obviously, how do you discover the name of the company and their first name? You can do it through the scraping software, and you can also do it through Apollo.io, which I'm going to show you just in the next lesson, and it's going to be a pretty simple process for you. Number 2, create curiosity. Ask a question or use phrases that make the recipient want to know more, like video about your company. This keeps them wondering what's inside. Number 3, add urgency. Short phrases like first name, question mark, or adding a question mark simply can imply that something important needs their attention right away. Very simple. Next thing, keep it short and direct. Make your subject line concise and easy to read at a glance. No more than a few words. Shorter lines tend to perform better. And this is simply because all the business owners are getting bombarded with all these silly first lines and they don't have energy and time to read it. And when you do, when you use their name and ask their name like Jack, they're going to be like, how the hell does this person know my name? And they're going to be way more likely to open. Okay? And the last rule, be creative and unconventional. Use surprising or out-of-box phrases, like they saw us together to stand out in a crowded inbox. Creativity catches the eye. And now when I'm talking about they saw us together, I'm just going to show you how it actually looks like in real life and how I used this idea in one of my cold emails. So before I do that, however, I'll show you 5 high-performing subject line templates that you can basically use every day and they're going to work. Question for first name. So this one's very personal, high open rates, and I got over 60% open rate with this one. Question about the company's name. Same stuff as the first one, very simple. First name, question mark. This works because it implies a lot of personalization and a lot of urgency at the same time. The question mark makes it look urgent and it evokes a lot of curiosity. And then the last one, my favorite one, they saw us together, first name. My favorite way to catch their attention is to simply take a photo of their face and edit it to make it look like you're shaking hands. This is a really good way to build a relationship with them and make them a little bit warmer. Something like this. So this is one of my cold emails I used in the past, and this one worked pretty well because let's be real, right? Who does emails like this? Like, who does emails like this, right? Nobody. So you have to stand out. And look, hey Christina, then the picture. You're probably wondering, why do I send you this picture of us? Two reasons. One, I know you always get messages like this, so I thought I'd stand out by trying to make you chuckle. And two, I can actually picture us working together. You can use this template, just don't overdo it, okay? Works pretty fine. I've got some pretty cool responses from people, and it was really great. So, and the last one, right? The last template, video about company or first name. Now the reason why it works again, it's because this one's very personal, okay? The curiosity and the neediness to know what the video looks like will make them open, okay? And I'll show you the rest of the email in the script below. So, talking about cold email scripts, which is basically everything after the subject line and the first line. This is which guidelines you should generally follow. So first of all, be personal. I talked about it all the time. Second, focus on the prospects. Third, provide value. Okay, so no chit chat, no talking boring stuff. Get to the point. They don't have time for your stupid comments about anything. Just get straight to the point. Make it more personal, make it a little bit more personal, make them smile a little bit, and then just go straight into the meat of the email. And when I'm talking about that they don't have time, keep each cold email under 150 words. Okay, very important. Next up, emphasize results and addressing their issues. Prospects care about what you can do for them, not how you do it. Very important. Don't tell them what are your biggest advantages. Don't tell them that you're the best because you use this magical formula. Just simply tell them what you can do for them and why you can do for them, why they should trust you. Okay? Also, make it easy to read, write like you talk. Write like I talk right now. Use a unique subject line, and also share relevant case studies and social proof if possible. Now, the last one is very important. Don't get caught up too much on one email. If one email doesn't work, simply keep on testing new variations, and eventually you will find the winner. Now, how to create a cold email sequence. This is very important, right? Now, obviously, if you get response with the first email, right? If you send out first email and you get the response and you get your prospect on the call, then you won. However, if that doesn't happen and that happens a lot of times, then you have to follow up, right? And you have to create a follow-up email sequence. Now, a lot of people think that if the prospect doesn't respond for the first time, that it's pretty much game over. And I'm here to tell you, this is not right. This ain't right. This ain't right. Okay, so I know that from my own experience. And if you waste contact just by sending them only one email, then it's just not good, right? It's just not good. And yeah. You're wasting a lot of your time because if you have a contact, you have to follow up with them, okay? If you don't follow up with them, you miss out on a lot of opportunities. Because people think that if you follow up, they will get mad. And like what? Like it doesn't matter, right? I'm here to tell you that I got 10% of my clients just by following up. And like Let's just imagine, right, that you make $100,000 per year and you waste 10% of the income just because you don't follow up. That's $10,000 per year. So really, really think about it. Now, this is how you should structure the sequence. So the follow-up number 1 should be after 3 days if they don't reply. Follow-up number 2 should be after 7 days if no reply. And follow-up number 3, 10 or more after follow-up 2 if no reply. Now look, I gave you all the cold email scripts from the scratch, all the cold email sequences. I actually gave you 3 email sequences that you can use for your business, and you can basically customize them according to your own needs. These cold email scripts are already written for you, and I gave you blank spaces that will allow you to type in the info of your business, type of your offer, but all these scripts are already created. So it's work done for you, okay? The hardest part of this is already done for you. So with that said, I'm not gonna read these scripts because that would be boring and you would waste so much time. You can check them out in this lesson, under this lesson, okay? And this is called a cold email sequence script. So just check that file out. It's pretty really good. Okay. Now the last thing I want to talk about is handling replies and objections, right? So just imagine, right? You get a reply, but you don't always get a positive reply. And again, if you don't know how to respond, you waste a lot of contacts and you waste a lot of your time for doing nothing, right? You have to get results. Like, this is what we are all here for. We're here to get results, okay? And guys, if you can learn how to handle objections and replies, I'm telling you, you are setting up yourself to generate more revenue than you ever thought possible. Okay, so with that said, let's get right into it. So the first most typical objection is, what's the cost? Okay, and this obviously applies if you're gonna have upfront payment pricing, right? So this is how you reply, okay? This is how you actually structure your email. This is the script. Hey name, I get it. You probably receive 100 emails like this every single day. So you need a way to filter through people. So I'm immediately relatable, right? I'm not pushy because business owners hate pushy people. Let me ask you this. Is price at the top of your list or is it results? So right here, I'm implying that I can give him results and they shouldn't worry about the price if I'll give them results. So again, I'm value oriented, okay? If you're looking for the cheapest option, then you're better off working with someone else. But if you're looking for someone to take your business to the next level and leave your competitors in the dust, then let's talk. Very simple, very effective. You can customize it, but this works very good. Next one, if they reply again, can you send me the price now? So 3 possible answers. Cool, so I honestly can't offer you anything that you don't need. We have a couple different options. Are you against a conversation to see if this would even make sense first? So in this case, again, you're telling them that you care about them and that you actually want to get to know them first, and then you want to close them on a call. Second one, I can't. We have so many options depending on where you're at. It would be impossible to break it down in a short email. But more than that, we don't make offers to everyone. We would only make you an offer if we are both confident you could achieve the desired result. In this case, you're winning in this response simply because you're not needed and you actually qualify them. You want them to qualify like for you, right? You're not looking their, butt, right? You are telling them, I don't even know if you're a good fit for me, and this is why I want to get on a call with you. And then again, you close them on a call. Third one, if it's cool with you, man, I would rather touch base with you when you have some more time to see if this would even make sense for you with where you're at. Again, a very similar answer to the second one. However, it's way quicker and way shorter. Next one, very, very tricky one, and very they use it very often. We're working on it. Sweet. So I'm not looking to take anything away from what you've got going on, but we're jumping the gun. I can offer you anything you don't need. Ha. Are you against a conversation to see if this would even make sense first? Very simple. Send me proof/website. This is very common objection, by the way. Hey name, here's a link to our website that displays more info on who we are and recent case studies as well. It's very important you've got case studies on your website. If you have any questions about, then you insert your service and what we can do for you, then let's schedule a quick call. What time and date works best for you? Cheers, and your signature. P.S. You can also book in a time to speak with me through my website. So you're making it very easy for them, and also what's very important, you're giving them the call to action for an actual call. This is very important. This one is also a very tricky one, and they a lot of business owners have this. And my strategy for this was to kind of break the seriousness and kind of break the ice by mentioning something funny. And you'll see what I mean. So I'm not sure if you should. I mean, I'm not asking you to marry me yet. Are you against a conversation to see if we could even help first? So you see, like, I took down the seriousness, right? I'm not too serious. I'm not too pushy. I'm just making the conversation lighthearted, and I'm making it a little bit more relaxed and chill. And I'm also being funny. And this is, like I've told you, people based on emotions and then justify them with logic. And then, if they see that you're a chill guy, right, and you're not needy and you're not there just to get the profit and just to make the bread, trust me, most of the times they will respond to you. Okay? People like you message me all the time. Why are you different? I don't know. I might not be. I guess it depends on what you mean by people like me. I haven't found anyone that does what we do yet. You got 10 minutes sometimes this week so I can run you through how we work? Super simple. You display, again, not being needy, but you're also being confident at the same time. So you're kind of balancing these two, and it makes you look very, very good. And the important part here is the 10 minutes sometimes this week. You're giving them a call to action. Always make sure you give them call to action. The email and the entire, you have to realize that you're the leader of this conversation, okay? They're not. Don't wait for them to do something. That's the most terrible thing. The same way you don't wait for a girl on a date to make a move, the same way you also are a leader in these call emails. And yeah, with that said, this is pretty much it, guys. This was a guide on how to actually handle replies, write your cold email scripts, and basically how to write your cold emails. And in the next lesson, I'll show you how to actually run the cold email software. And I'm here to tell you that it's going to be very, very similar to the email marketing software. There are just going to be some small nuances, but if you have the fundamentals from that previous lesson, you will have absolutely no problem. I look forward to see you there. Let's get it, guys.